What's going on, everybody? I want to welcome you to another edition of the Movie Fam's Horror Review. Got two good movies for you tonight. Cube and What Lies Beneath. So that'll be the two movies we'll be hitting tonight. And I'm not gonna lie, the episode's gonna be a little skimpy. And the only reason it's skimpy because I wasn't on the internet a whole lot this week. Having technical difficulties like you would not believe. It's ridiculous. And I'm not here like, oh, it feels hard for me. No, not like that. I didn't get around to, doing what I normally do online. So, maybe a little skimpy here, but hey, I soldier on. What can I say? So, yes, thank you for tuning in. And so last week I asked the question, top 3 favorite horror villains, of all time. And got a couple responses. Joker, my boy, he hit me back with, at number 3, Pennywise from It. He was also on my list. Excellent. Number 2, Freddy Krueger, also from mine, from the Nightmare on Elm Street series. And then his number 1, which really didn't surprise me at all, The Tall Man. And like I said, if I had top 5, I would have threw Tall Man in there, but only had top 3. But, thank you very much for answering back. And Gorshack 13. I always want to say Rorschach. I'm not going to lie. Every time I say it kind of fast, and it probably sounds like I'm saying Rorschach. But Gorshack 13, he hit me up with 3. Harry Warden from My Bloody Valentine. I haven't seen that in a long time. Like, I haven't even seen the remake. The original, man, it's been so long. I haven't got around to like rewatching it. Cause a lot of movies I realize I don't remember if I've seen them or not. Like, that's one thing that's crazy. It's like, I'll watch a movie, like, everybody's like, you need to check this movie out. I'll check it out. And I'm like, holy shit, I've already seen this, a long time ago. Just forgot about it. And then there's some movies that I've seen that I just don't remember hardly anything on. And that's where My Bloody Valentine falls under. Matt Cordell from Maniac Cop. Another one, that was a Cinemax movie for me. Like, I'd watch it just leading into, Passion Cove or Bikini Car Wash or whatever the hell was on. Emmanuel in Space, So, yeah, that was number 2, and his number 1 was Leatherface, which is a great one. If I did top 10, that's what I'm gonna keep doing. Like, every time like someone mentions someone, I'll be like, well, if I had top 15, if I had top 30, Now, top 10 went through Leatherface. So, guys, I want to appreciate you guys for participating, throwing yours in there. So this week, I always think my top 3s that somehow revolve around the movies. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm looking at Cube and What Lies Beneath, and I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck am I gonna, like, what's the question here? Your top 3, like, Harrison Ford horror movies? What? No. Your top 3. And I mean, I'm not saying this out of respect, but, like, top 3, like, underground cult Canadian films. No, I mean, because I don't know very many. I'm sure they're wonderful, so before the Canadians lynch me over there, I'm sure they're great, I love Black Christmas, come on now. But, no, so I didn't really, but I'm thinking, like, so literally, because this is, like, the toughest thing, I come up with something fresh, because I can just throw a generic one out there. Be like, hey, tonight we're doing Cubes, What Lies Beneath. What's your top 3 favorite, Michael Myers outfits or mask or whatever? So, I try to make them fit. So, and then on top of that, like, not only do I have to come up with the top 3, I gotta, like, think, like, what's my top 3? Because I think, as most of you horror movie fans know, it's tough as shit breaking this down, getting the top 3. But then I remembered the opening scene in this, and it's fucking brilliant. And I was like, there it is. So this week, what is your top 3 favorite death scenes in a horror movie? Even though this is great, this is not mine. I'll be honest with you. I was trying to get, like, some gruesome, crazy, fucking nuts stuff that, because I'm sure, like, a lot of people don't, like, throw out this, like, obscure, shit. Or maybe not obscure. I don't really say obscure, because when you're in a horror movie circle, you realize the shit that you thought was obscure really isn't. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, that movie, sure. But, yeah, but mine's just very mainstream. Like, that may disappoint a lot of people. It disappoints me even. I'm just like, holy shit, I'm picking these 3. But literally, when I'm thinking my top 3 favorite, I'm going through the list of all the great ones. And these 3 just kept coming up to the top. So here we go. Number 3 for me was in Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Dude, the gunshot impale scene. Or the shotgun impale scene. Dude, fucking awesome. I just remember like a kid thinking like, Myers, like, when it's an awesome scene to begin with. She sees the, dead cop there. She's like, and then Myers stops. So the whole time he's in a rocking chair in the same room as this girl. I don't even know what I'm explaining. You guys seen the movie. But anyway, he gets up. And I'm thinking like myself when I watched it as a kid, I'm like, is he going to like fucking cap her one? Like, this is insane. Nope. Impels her up on the wall. And then like just sits her there. Like, she just Dude, fucking, it's awesome. It's iconic to me. Love it. And then the last two are literally from the Friday the 13th series. A close call would have been the sleeping bag scene, obviously. Or, I know everybody hates the movie, but Jason X, when he freezes the chick and then smashes her face, dude, it's like a slushy. Dude, that's awesome. I love that. However, in top two, I'm going back to the classics. Number two, was from Friday the 13th, Part 1, Kevin Bacon. Come on, I mean, that's just fucking brilliant. And even now, like, even though I know, like, everybody knows how it was done, we've all seen, like, multiple different documentaries, you know, about this thing, it still looks good. Like, you're watching it, you're like, no, that looks like a real fucking arrow going through his neck right there. It's brilliant. It's just fucking brilliant. And my number one, my favorite kill of all time, it's actually a double kill from Friday the 13th Part 2, when they're fucking on the bed, Jason comes in, spears him, a double spear, 2 for 1. I loved it. I fucking loved it. So yes, what are your top 3 favorite death scenes from a horror movie? Now, as you guys know, there are multiple ways to, you know, lay these on me. You can hit me with the video response. Not necessary. You don't have to. If you want to, hey, why not? Of course, you know, all the Phantom friends over on Facebook. You can hit me up over there. You can also leave that comment down below. And then finally, you can email me at moviephantom7@gmail.com. So, bam, there it is. Now, let's get into the news. And once again, skimpy news. Really only two news bites that I actually plucked out. Both of them are TV related. We got 2 new series. Well, we got 1 series and then 1 maybe coming out. First up, we have NBC is talking about bringing out a new Dracula TV series. It's going to be like I think it said 9-part or 9-episode series or whatever. 9 or 13. I can't remember. It's in there. It's short. I'm assuming they're 1 hour, so it'll be alright. But yeah, Dracula. You know what? I'm cool with that. There's actually a comic book. Now, I you know, not like superheroes, but I like comic books. I'm getting in graphic novels and everything. And there was one that my cousin was reading. And I've yet to read it. I've kind of skimmed through it at the comic book store. The Deathly Ship or the Death Ship or something like that. It's literally like that few months that when Dracula has his coffin aboard the ship and it's coming across the Atlantic. It's coming across the Atlantic? Where the hell's he coming from? Didn't the movie take place in like London? So I guess it wasn't the Atlantic. I don't know. Where fucking ship the ocean he crosses. God damn it. I haven't seen Dracula in a while. Forgive me. Anyways, the boat trip. It's literally like the comic is a 4-part series about the 4 issues about the boat trip, and I thought that'd be brilliant. I'm like, why didn't they make that? Like, as I'm reading the news about the new Dracula series, I'm like, I would much rather read this because this is something we don't know about. Like in every fucking movie, it's just like a boat arrives and everybody's dead. Even the rats have fled. You know, it's just, and I'm like, you know, I want to see what happened on there. So, but anyways, yeah. So Dracula's coming out. They got the dude from the Tudors, I think. Is that how you pronounce that? I've never seen it. It's Showtime, I think. Don't quote me on that. Anyways, or HBO, one or two. Anyways, yeah, that dude. I'm saying that dude like there's just one. I've never seen the show. There's probably like 30 dudes on there. I'm just saying like that dude. Anyways, a dude from there is going to be Dracula. So, and then this, okay, that one I'm okay with. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to like personally check it out when it's on TV. I'll probably wait for it to come out on Netflix or, you know, whatever, Redbox it. However, this next one, I was excited when I read the first sentence, and then when I saw this network it's going to, I was just like, Battle Royale. Yes, they're wanting to do a TV series based on Battle Royale, and that scared me first of all because I'm thinking like, well, if it's going to be network TV, man, it's going to be kind of toned down, whatever. But then I saw the network it's going to, and I'm just like, shit, I wish it was going to be like on one of the other stations. CW, that's right, the WB of our generation. C-fucking-W is going to get... And maybe I'm being unfair. Like, I've still not seen Supernatural or any of the other shit that people are like, hey, you should watch. Vampire Diaries, Inner Circle, all that fucking, you know, whatever. Because, I'm sorry, it's fucking CW. Like, there's just nothing good on CW, ever. Ever. What am I going to do, watch Veronica Mars? Come on. Let's be real for a second. So they're going to do Battle Royale. I'm just like, it just reminds me of like, it's going to be like Dawson's Creek on Island. That's what I'm picturing right now. In fact, I don't think I'd much rather have Dawson Creek on Island, because I think that'd at least be like comical. I'd be like, oh, this is kind of funny. Whereas this is gonna be like all fucking. So yeah, but that's the one that it's in talks right now. Like it's nothing set in stone, so don't think like, oh no, it's not. So yeah, right now they're trying to talk the CW into doing it. I hope CW just like no. That's how they sound. That's their voice they make. No. So I'm hoping that's what happens. So boom. Yeah, that's all I got this week for news. Sorry. Hopefully next week I'll throw some more, nuggets at you. So all right. So August is just around the corner. Close actually. I mean, in fact, maybe by the time this premieres, it may be August. Yeah, it probably will be actually. So yeah, August will be here, and dog days of summer. School's going back into session, and a new little crop of horror movies hitting theaters. So here we go. We got 3 movies thus far. I mean, more may be entered later on, but 3 that I saw that are coming out this month. They're all with a title after it. So here we go. We got The Apparition, The Possession, and The Awakening. So there you go. I've only seen the trailer for The Possession. I'm not excited about it. Like I went through this rant before, so I'll spare you the entire thing. But long story short, I just it seems like anything like ghost or possessed wise or anything like that, I normally don't care about. And then I watch it, it's pretty good. Like Last Exorcism, fucking Insidious. I mean, these are decent movies that I just fucking shit on before they even came out, and I was like, they'll be crap. Now watching them, it's actually pretty good. Paranormal Activity, another one, so. It may be good. I'm just saying from what I saw, it's like, because there has been other ones that just suck balls. A Haunting in Connecticut, really? Yeah. So yeah, that's that. So boom. In the way of viewer comments, I mean, nothing really stood out. Mostly, once again, it was just a lot of people like, hey, I agree with you, or this, that, but nothing really, show-worthy, except, I know I mentioned on here, it's been a little bit, not too long, within the last month, me and my boy Joker was talking about Pinhead's weakness, and dude, motherfucker actually did some research. Like, and I'm horrible at that. Like, I have the internet here, and I'm just like, I'm gonna look up pornography. That's what I do. I don't, look up the stuff, and I was just like, I prefer I don't want to read it as much because like, what if something? Because I've only seen up to part 5 thus far. What if like 6, 7, and 8 are just fucking crazy and it has the, so I was like, But he actually went up and looked out for me and checked it up. And he said that apparently, this goes for Pinhead and the rest of the Cenobites as well, just basically anything supernatural. But it was very vague, like he gave me like the article or the link it, went to and everything. But it just seemed like, it is like anything supernatural, but it don't really kill them. It just kind of like slows them down and then they come back for, 7 more fucking sequels, or 8 counting the Revelations. I'm sorry, I forgot about that one. And then Alicia, she saw his, he left a message on there, or no, she left one first. I'm sorry, he sent me one. It's a thing. He sent me a private message, and then she left one on the thing, and then he responded back to that. Little conversation going on there. Anyways, but she said his weakness was his former self, like he still had a human side, but then he made the point that like they kind of broke apart, like there were 2 separate, entities. I forget the soldier's name, but, his human self and then fucking Pinhead over here, and they did kind of split up. So either way, I mean, it don't matter, he keeps coming back. It's like Freddy Krueger, he has a weakness, you just don't believe in him, but eventually someone's going to slip up and say Freddy Krueger inside the town, and then everybody's going to be like, oh shit, Freddy Krueger. I don't know who's fuck Freddy Krueger. There's like Freddy Krueger. I'm going to sleep thinking about Freddy Krueger, and then pops up. So yeah. So yeah, that's that. Once again, if you want to leave viewer comments, goddamn, hit me up. I just told you ways, you want to send me a video thing, hey, I'm cool with that. Of course, my Facebook friends, they know where to hit me up at. Down below, or the email, movefam7@gmail.com. And once again, I take, hate mail, questions, personal questions. Like, at this point, I don't even care. Like, you can ask me anything. So yeah, there it is. And once again, if I don't throw it on the show, I will definitely hit you back. Unless, of course, if it's just like, hey, I agree with your thoughts on this, or hey, great job. If you say a great job, I'll throw back a thanks, man, kind of thing, So, all right. So before I get to the reviews, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm not bragging. I'm just really happy. Horror Show 3000 was having a video contest, the Rue Morgue, magazine giveaway, and this motherfucker won it. So, bam, there it is. So yeah, I want to thank Horror Show 3000 again for letting me join this thing and participate. Appreciate it, buddy. And yeah, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to. I'm not gonna lie, looking forward to that. And then one of the gifts were the Battle Royal DVD, which I do not own. Like I literally Netflixed it, and then I have them, watching computer, but do not own the actual movie. So shit, yeah, got a hard copy now. So thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate that. All right, so here we go. Enough of me trying to stretch this out to actually make it a show. Let's get to the reviews, shall we? All right, first up, it's 1997, and it's boom, Cube. All right, and the basic premise is there's 7 different strangers who they wake up inside this giant fucking structure, a cube, if you will. All right, and I say 7, like everybody's like, every review, or everything I've read so far, they're like 6 strangers wake up. Well, they never like count the first motherfucker that like you see that actually walks into, I'll get to it in a second. Anyways, yeah. All right, so I saw this movie. My God, it's been a little bit ago. I've seen it before, but the thing is, before I saw this, there was a Twilight Zone episode. And it's kind of weird because even the quote right here is like gripping in the best Twilight Zone tradition. I've actually read that article it came from, and I've read other people say like they remind of Twilight Zone, but they never actually mention an episode. They're just like it's Twilight Zone, but there is an episode. And here's the thing: like before I saw this episode of Twilight Zone where it's like 5 or 6 people. They wake up in this giant fucking cylinder room. They have no idea how they got there. It's the same kind of thing. And but they all have like a different occupation. One's a soldier, one's a doctor. I think one's even a clown or some shit, ballerina. Now normally I'm like if it's under 10 years I won't drop spoilers. I won't say shit about this one. Like I definitely recommend if you come across this episode of Twilight Zone. I read the little summary on my guide. I was like, holy shit, that sounds awesome. And I checked it out, and it was damn good. And of course, it's a 22-minute long episode, but still, I mean, that 22 minutes is very captivating. People may bitch about the ending, but fuck them. So I was just like, they need to make a full-length movie like this. Now I saw that movie episode in 2003, 2004, something like that. So it was long after this movie was even out. I didn't even know this existed. And then I came across this one time. I was like, that looks kind of cool. Threw it in there, and then I was like, holy shit, that was it right there. Now I'm not saying they directly took it from there, but whatever. Dude, I love it. And I didn't realize how low budget it actually was. Like I guess when I watched it, I wasn't really thinking about it. I mean, because it really is a good story. Yeah, I mean, it was made for like under $400,000, I think, dollars. Of course, the special effects I just found out was done for free. Like literally, the company's just like, you know what? To show respect to the Toronto Film Company or whatever, we're going to do the special. And I'm like, that's a pretty sweet gig right there. And they're not bad. Some of the traps, like there's a couple scenes where you go into a room. I guess I should explain, for those of you who don't really know what I'm talking about. You wake up there in a giant room. It's just a giant fucking cube. Room, blank room. They got like lights in each of them, but the lights don't really mean anything, really. Although, I mean, I guess like on a director level, because I'm pretty sure every time they enter a red room, that's like when the drama really gets fucking high. But as far as like plot goes, no, the lights don't really mean anything. But anyways, they got there's 6 different ways out. You got the 4 walls. There's a little hatch you can get through, and then of course there's one in the ceiling and then one on the floor. And the thing is, you go into one of them. There's multiple ones that are just booby trap hardcore, and you have to know like the little code go through it. And it turns out that there's all these numbers in the little entranceways, and if they're all prime, that's an okay room to go into. Whereas if it's not, so yeah, that's the basic thing right there. So yeah, there's a few scenes where like I know there's one that's voice activated, like you say something in the room and fucking spikes come up, and they look kind of fake. And even the grid thing, like in the very beginning, this dude wakes up and goes in the room. Spoiler alert. It's 97. Dude's in the room, and this thing, he walks in and you just hear his, I love that noise, by the way. And then you realize this motherfucker, it's almost like, and they definitely stole it from this, Resident Evil, and when they're walking in the room and like the laser grid thing comes out, it's just like that. That's exactly where Paul W.S. Anderson got it from. He got it from this movie right here, and just slices them up, and then they fall to pieces. That's what it is, and it's like giant things when you buy. Now, when a guy falls to pieces, it looks incredible. The only thing that looks kind of cheesy is the grid. Like, it shows a real fucking swinging grid thing, fence, whatever it is. But then when it folds itself up, it's pretty cartoony. But, you know, it's 97 for one. And for two, it's an extremely low-budget movie. So I'm like, I'm letting it slide. The acting, it's hit or miss. I think it gets better as the movie progresses. So I'm pretty sure this was shot, for the most part, chronologically. I could be wrong about that. And if I am, just crucify me now. I'm cool with it. But yeah, I mean, I want to say toward the end, it seems like the acting is getting really good. But it seems like early on, especially that girl. Like, every review I read, everybody's like, that young girl, they're like, oh, she did really good. I'm like, no, she really didn't. There's been some horrible deliveries early on. But once again, I'm not, you know, busting balls because, you know, it's a small effort they got together. That's one thing I didn't realize either. I mean, looking at it now, you can kind of see clearly it was just one room. And they just kept changing the colors in it, and they kept filming in that one room because obviously it's cheaper to do that. But, you know, when I first time I watched it, I didn't think about that at all. So, I mean, I was just assuming. I mean, I wouldn't really put thought into it, I guess. But, yeah, I mean, you gave you the illusion they were actually going into different rooms. So, I mean, it's very well directed. The one thing I also read too, and not really from like any real critics, just, you know, users online, but a lot of them were just bitching about like the ending of it, which I for one loved. The whole movie is pretty much a mystery. Like, you never quite know what's going on, and that's what I like about it. So yeah, I you know, I don't know too long on this. I don't know what to say about it. I definitely recommend it. It was followed by 2 sequels. Now, when I watched this, I rented it from the video store. I was like, this is fucking awesome. So I immediately went back and got Cube 2 Hypercube. And it was ridiculous. Yeah, I do not recommend that one. That was just a fucking joke. And it was like, they had more money, clearly, and like the effects got worse. Now, I remember thinking that then. Like, the first time I watched this, I wasn't really thinking about the effects. I mean, the storyline's good. This next one, it wasn't. And it takes place like in a, well, I guess like a cyber time. I don't know. It's weird. I didn't care for it. You know, maybe I'll watch it later on the road. I'll be like, oh, but, you know, odds are I won't. So I didn't bother with Cube Zero, which is the prequel to this. Which I guess in that one, they kind of explain more about, like, where this fucking structure's built, who's behind it, all that stuff. But this one, you don't know anything. I definitely recommend it. This is definitely a highly recommended movie right here. So yeah, check it out right there. Cube. Alright, we're moving right along. The year was 2000. And the movie was What Lies Beneath. Alright, and the basic premise is basically Michelle Pfeiffer's being haunted at home by a girl ghost. Alright. The first time I watched this, okay, I watched it when it first came out on DVD, so this was 2000. I was, I think I was still a freshman. I just, now, done being a freshman. I was my summer between freshman and sophomore, either way. Okay, now at this point I've already seen The Sixth Sense and Stir of Echoes. Both are really great movies. I for one, prefer Stir of Echoes over Sixth Sense, even though Sixth Sense was, you know, the blockbuster too. So at this point, you know, I'm getting a little irritated with these movies where there's a ghost and it's not really haunting you to scare you, it's haunting you to relay a message about something. Now, once again, I let it slide those first two because I was like, hey, you know, this is crazy. They both kind of, you know, threw me off or whatever. But by the time this rolled around, it really did come in on the last thing, like the last little wheel of this, like, you know, ghost twist thing. And at this point, and after that, the ghost became more vengeful. You had like The Ring and The Grudge and, you know, stuff like that. So they weren't really trying to tell a message. I mean, they were, but at the end of the day, they were just throwing fuck you over anyways. Whereas this was like the last one where, like, you know, this poor young girl was just like, Michelle Pfeiffer, your husband killed me. He's danger. You know, that was the whole, and the whole time I was like, really? Like, we just spent 2 hours and 10 minutes, like, fucking freaking out. And I'm like, you know, the ghost was like even like right on the mirror. And I'm like, write the fucking message there. Write the fucking message. Don't make her try to remember shit. Just flat out tell her right off the bat, like, listen, I am a ghost. Your husband and I had an affair. And then he killed me. Your husband's a dick. The end. That's all you had to say. That was it. No, we spent the entire, you know, so I hated it right off the bat. I was like, this movie sucks balls. I was done with it. Now, the only thing I really kind of dug was, and it still goes for right now, was, of course, the infamous, you know, bathtub scene. And it was a good scene. I mean, when he puts her in there, it's a kind of a sedative that basically, when you're in there, you it's almost like what the dude in the audition had. Like literally, you can't move, but you can still, you're aware of what's going on around you, kind of thing. I don't know if you can still feel pain or not, but you know you're fucking numb as shit. And of course, he throws her in the bathtub and starts filling it up while she's still alive. And it is kind of a crazy scene. However, I don't agree with the little line back here. This dude from the New York Post says, "It does for bathtubs what Psycho did for showers." No, not even fucking close. But, you know, this jackass said it, and then they're like, "Oh shit, someone said it, we'll put it on the fucking DVD," and, you know, put it on every fucking, you know, trailer that was out at the time. That's what it said. You had that line, and then you see, like, the fingers coming up on the thing. But anyways, you know, hated it. And just never watched it. Never watched it again until today. The story behind why I'm reviewing this, both of them actually. A while back ago, I can't remember what I did it with. I did in a Mouth of Madness. I can't remember what the second one was, but that was just like, I was like, I'm going to just hit you with 2 shitty fucking movies. And I was going to hit you with this one first. And I just couldn't get a hold of it. It's funny, because this is like a generic fucking ghost story. After I could find it just about anywhere. And I couldn't. Like, my local video store didn't have it. Like, nobody I knew had it. I actually had to, you know, try to hunt this thing down and order. Got it for like $1. Had to pay more for the shipping, didn't I? No, I got this at a Vibe, actually. Never mind. I got this, a friend of mine paid $1 for it. But anyways, regardless. Yeah. So I hunted down, finally got a hold of it. Did the review, watched it. And you know what? I guess when you know the twist at the end, now you're kind of watching it for that second time, you get to kind of enjoy, I don't know, the direction's really good. Now, the one thing that I've said, you know, or I didn't say, a lot of reviewers say it's very Hitchcockian, and it is. I mean, literally, not as bad as like a De Palma film, but still, even down to the point, like, you know, she's spying on the neighbors. Like, I forgot about that whole thing. Like, there's a scene where she thinks at first all the ghost is haunting her and shit is the neighbor because they were fighting, and now the husband's by himself. So, you know, she's doing it Rear Window style, just fucking, you know, spying on him and shit. So, and there are some good scenes in this thing, but I think and even after watching it, I will say, it wasn't that bad. Like, I liked it more now than I did when I was younger. I think it is from a technical aspect, though. I think it's just the fact that it is, you know, really good score, really good, you know, damn good directing, and then, yeah, the acting, you know, is, you know, top notch. I mean, you got nothing but A-listers on this thing, or at least the 2 leads, you know, knocking out the park. So, I mean, you know, it's good all around. What makes this lower than Sixth Sense and Stir of Echoes? It has to do with the twist. Like, I remember when I first watched this, the twist still got me. Like, I didn't know the husband was in on anything. I mean, I was just like, what? He's basically, and even now you watch it, I mean, I guess there's a couple subtle clues. I guess even the tagline, and I don't remember reading the tagline, even the tagline's like, he was the perfect husband until one mistake followed him home. I didn't read that. So, when I first watched it, I was just like, oh, wow, the husband's a dirtbag who killed this girl. Movie sucks. This time around, you know, with the subtle clues, I mean, you think he's, you know, if you even watch it, you're like, he's a perfect husband, excellent father, got a great job, and he doesn't really play, even like when he kind of turns, he don't really play it psychotic. He just kind of like, shit, I want to maintain my perfect life. I'm gonna kill the bitch and, you know, dump her with the other girl, who also tried to ruin my perfect life. So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll watch it now. I enjoy it more, but here's why it's not as good as the other two. Is because it really is just a generic ghost story. At the end of the day, it's a generic ghost story. There's nothing new to the table. You know, it's by numbers. It's definitely following the formula, and that's why I think. And even now, like I said, right now I'm giving this props. It's good. It's not bad. It is forgettable. There's a reason why there will probably never be like a 10th anniversary edition of, you know, What Lies Beneath. With all retrospective, you know, look back on what movie that changed the face of horror. No, you won't have that at all. Because it is, once again, just very basic and plain. Not scary. A lot of the, you know, and I know this can be said about a lot of horror movies, but when they try to mix the thriller in there, like when it's a horror thriller kind of thing, it should be a little more suspenseful, and it's really not. Like, you can just see a lot of the scares coming from a mile away. But once again, it is very well, you know, acted, directed. So for that, I'm giving it, you know, kind of giving it a thumbs up. But yeah, nothing I would really go on my way to see. Like, I paid $1 for it, and I'm happy with that. So yeah, I wouldn't pay any more for this. So yeah, What Lies Beneath. To me, the only thing that's going to be remembered for me, anyways, aside from the awesome, you know, artwork, the front cover, would be the spoof they did in Scary Movie 2. And that's it. And that's the legacy it's going to leave behind, unfortunately. So, yeah, boom, there you go. So, Cube, What Lies Beneath, I'm saying definitely check this one out. I'm laying whatever reputation the movie fandom has. I don't know if my reputation is even much at all, but still, I recommend it. Check it out. This one, it wasn't, today was just like a lazy day for me. I didn't do shit. And this is the kind of mood you gotta be in to watch this kind of movie, I think. Just one of those days you're gonna lay around the house, fuck it, raining outside, you wanna watch a little ghost story, boom, there you go. So yeah, there it is. Alright guys, I'm out of here. I'll catch you guys later.